unbelievable, kissable, huggable, lovable, unbelievable, kissable, huggable, lovable, unbelievable.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Talkin with Tana show as we broadcast live out of the purveyor of all things cowboy, Young's Western Wear, DiscountWesternwear.com. Want to thank today's sponsor, and that is Equipride. Equipride is a proud sponsor of the Talkin with Tana show and Tana Papano. Equipride is a complete forages, improve appearance, performance, and immune function through better feed utilization. For more information on them, you can go to equipride.biz. Also, check them out on Facebook, become a fan, and check them out on YouTube as well. Well, we're going to go to the phone, as we always do, and talk to Tana. How are you, Tana?
Ken?
Yeah?
If you can hear me, I'm going to call in on my cell phone because I can't hear you on this phone at all.
Okay, well,
Okay.
Sounds good. Well, we're going to give Tana a quick talk back here. She's going to call us right back on the cell phone, so we'll wait to hear from her. Again, I want to thank Equipride. Equipride's a proud sponsor of today's show, and for more information on them, go to equipride.biz. Also, check them out on Facebook, become a fan. They keep you up to date on everything there, so make sure you go and become a fan of Equipride. Well, Tana should be calling in now here any second, so when she calls in, we'll go back live to her here on the phone. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and we're going to go to her right now. Let's see. Tana, are you there?
Let's try this one. I can hear you now.
All right, good. Well, that was interesting.
Sorry.
No, it worked out great. I just talked about Equipride some more.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah, I gave them some extra plugs, and we'll go on from there. But that's why you got to love live radio. You never know what to expect.
Okay. Shoot from the hip. It's kind of like rodeo. And
that's right.
if this doesn't work, you try something else, and you try it really fast.
Right. Next, speaking of trying something else, I want to let all the listeners know, if you go to spurradio.com and click on the live video webcast, we are also streaming this on Ustream as well, so they'll be able to see me when I'm talking to you, and then I put up some Equipride banners and some other things for a new thing we're trying out here on the Talkin with Tana show. But Tana, last week you had a busy week. Get us up to date on last week.
Okay, well, last week we kind of got back in the swing of rodeoing. We made 4 rodeos in 3 days. We started out at Ada, Oklahoma, Thursday morning in the slack. And I say we, Heather Wilson from Missouri went with me. And when we left, we were both placing. And we loaded up and drove to Bridgeport, Texas, which is about 3 hours away, and ran in the slack there. Didn't have quite as good a luck at Bridgeport. And then we went to Crockett, Texas for Friday, and we were in the slack after the perf Friday night, and we both tipped the same barrel, and we're a little disgusted with ourselves because we were top of the ground there and kind of wasted it. And then the next day we were at Mineral Wells and drew the Saturday night perf, and the ground was excellent, and I ended up winning second. So
cool. So all in all, you had a long week, but you won a little money, and goes towards the big total to get to the NFR this year.
That's right.
All right.
Chipping away, we're going to have to knock some bigger pieces off than $1,000 at a time, but every little bit helps.
That's right. Well, Tana, again, I want to jump in here real quick and thank Equipride. Equipride's a proud sponsor of the Talkin with Tana show. For more information on them, you can go to equipride.biz. Also check them out on Facebook, become a fan, and also check them out on YouTube. Equipride has lots of great videos up there on YouTube. Well, Tana, I had an interesting deal. You know, last week we were talking about, regulations, this and that, crossing the state lines, and then, lo and behold, coming out, I believe it was yesterday. I don't know if you've seen it or read about it, but they've came out. There's a pretty dangerous virus going on out there. Have you come across that yet?
Yeah, I had a friend call and tell me about it, I guess, Sunday, and I guess it basically started with the cutting horses, and apparently it's a strain of the herpes virus.
Right.
I think they call it EHV1. I'm sure by now there's a lot of stuff out on the internet that you can read, but there's really no vaccine that, is for this particular strain. There are some good things you can do to boost the immune system in your horses, and one of those is by feeding Equipride. If you keep your horses, feeling good and that immune system boosted up, they're less likely to catch something going around, and that's kind of what I'm banking on, that my horses are healthy. And I think also that horses that are really stressed, tend to come down with it. And, the cutting horses, I'm not an expert on cutting horses by any means, but I do know that they tend to ride them a couple hours before they show them every day, and that their shows are long, a couple weeks at a time, and, they haul them a long way from home, so do we. But those younger horses tend to be the ones that come down with stuff. So it's a bad deal. We can't be too careful. If we could get it isolated, figure out where it came from, and anybody that even thinks their horse is sick, just isolate him for the next 10 days, 2 weeks, and we can put a stop to this thing.
Right. I know the Colorado Department of Agriculture sent out a press release on it, and it looks like it started or possibly came out at the National Cutting Horse Association in Ogden, Utah. And I guess anybody that happens to been there, they probably want to maybe get their horses checked and, be safe, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. It's kind of like the flu bug in people. Most people, a lot of people don't catch it. I guess this particular strain, if you get it, it is pretty hard on them, and yeah, it's causing some deaths. So
right,
it'd be better just not to get it.
Right. I know out in Colorado, it looks like they had to euthanize one horse. Give some of you listeners some of the symptoms out there. They include a fever, decreased coordination, nasal discharge, urine dribbling, loss of tail tone, and hind limb weakness. And if you see your horse leaning against a wall or a fence, to maintain balance. Them are some of the signs that you might want to get in and get your horse checked out. But it's a serious deal, so don't take it lightly. But if everybody would just go out and check their horses and make sure everything's okay, then that would help everybody out there by keeping this thing quarantined in a certain area. So make sure you check that out. For this press release, you can also go to spurradio.com on its fan page on Facebook. There's lots of releases and presses out there on it, so you can get more of it on there, or just search, EHV1 virus, and it'll pull up all kinds of information out there on it. So I wanted to make sure we talk about that and get that out to everybody today, because we want to make sure they get that nipped in the bud and not spread, and we'll go on from there. But I guess that's one of the... Go ahead.
Kind of something else, if your horse has been feeling good and he goes off feed, and even if he's not showing any of these other signs, and you can't figure out why he went off feed, if he goes off feed, take his temperature. If he's running a fever, then call your vet. Right. The fever is one of the first signs, and, most of us, don't necessarily take temperatures, but that's a good way, to kind of check. If he goes off feed, he's not running temp, just keep an eye on him. Maybe he's just not hungry that day. But,
right.
Just another early sign that, maybe something needs a little more attention. At these kind of times, it's like, take it serious and jump on it so we can get it stopped.
Exactly. It doesn't, it's that time of year, especially going into the rodeo season, where you guys are really going to be busy and traveling. You're going to be around lots of horses. So if there's any thought or any sign, it doesn't hurt. Go get them checked and make sure everything's okay. So when everybody's traveling, you don't not only protect your horse, but you're protecting the horses to all the other contestants around you. So anyway, we touched on it. I wanted to make sure we throw that out. And you touched on a little bit ago about boosting your immune system and Equipride. how effective is that, or how does EquiPride work, or what's it got in it, Tana, that does that for them?
Well, now I knew you was going to ask that, and I don't know, Ken. I just feed it, and I know it works, and I know it does that.
Exactly right. For more information on it, go to their website,
Go to
EquiPride. Exactly. Well, it is, and that's what I like about EquiPride. You know, we sell it here, and the easiest thing for me to do is to sell EquiPride, because they ask, what does it do? And I say, well, basically, all this stuff that you are feeding for this, and this thing you're feeding for that, and this thing you're feeding for that, EquiPride has it all. It's all in one deal, and you know, you don't have to worry about it. You get all the vitamins, the nutrients, everything they need, all in one thing, and that's EquiPride. How was that?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
It's the one-stop shopping for supplements, as far as I'm concerned.
There you go. Well, Tana, I don't know if you've noticed, but we're going to touch on something here. I got the video up of myself, and today on the video, on the live video cast, just so you know, I am supporting a pair of Max sunglasses. I'm wearing the Syncos. So everybody will be able to see a good-looking pair of Max sunglasses out there. Of course, they're a sponsor of yours. Wanted to give them a quick shout-out. For more information on Max, you can go to maxsunglasses.com. And I know every time you're running, especially in the summer, you wear a pair.
You bet. I pretty much live in sunglasses from day up to sun up to sundown, especially, you know, when you're driving. It really cuts the glare, and when you're riding, keeps the dust out, and just, you know, to me, I can see better with them because of their high-def glasses, so you won't catch me without them.
Yeah, that's right. And I know I wear them all the time when I leave here. And the neat thing about it, too, they've got them to fit everything. And one of the things that I like them is because I just wear eyeglasses. I don't wear contacts. So I got the go-overs, you know, that go over my eyewear. So I use them a lot. But I wanted to show everybody, if they was wondering why I was wearing sunglasses on the video, I wanted to let them know that's what they are, and they're a sponsor of Tana. We appreciate everything they do for you, and wanted to give them a quick shout-out. Well, Tana, what's coming up for you? I know the summer's here, and it's going to get real busy in the rodeo season. What do you got coming up here in the next week or so?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, before the next week or so, it's like I have spent 2 hours this morning looking at the 4th of July run. I mean, the books at Reno, Nevada are open right now. That's the end of June. And Reno it's a Pro Tour rodeo, and this year they're letting us run back-to-back in the barrel race, just like the men have been doing. And so in years past, they've run the whole complete first round on Friday morning before the rodeo starts. So you had to drive out there and then either set all week and make your second run or leave and go somewhere else, which there really aren't very many choices to do that. So unless you're going up to Canada, I guess. But so I've been trying to decipher on when to enter Reno and what to enter on the way out there, and then over the 4th, because those books start opening up here real soon, and you got to have a plan, and you got to have a lot of backup plans to go with it, because once you enter, you know, you're not guaranteed by any means to get what you ask for, and so it's kind of I enjoy it. It also stresses me at sometimes, but it's a big puzzle, and the problem is that there's no one certain way that puzzle goes together. All of these pieces will fit together in different combinations, and trying to work it where it fits you, your horses, your hauling partners. It's just kind of a very challenging part of rodeoing.
Well, yeah, and that amazed me how far out that you've got to plan this, you know, as far as your schedule, because, you know, especially when you're out on the road, the last thing you want to do is drive clear out of your way to go somewhere, you know, especially with the high price of diesel nowadays. So that's pretty amazing. I didn't realize how far out in advance you got to plan to go to some of these rodeos.
Oh, yeah. Right now I'm entering Reno. I'm also entering the rodeos for the first week of June, which would be Bennington, Kansas, Strong City, Kansas, Licking, Missouri. Fort Smith is that weekend, or that week. So we'll have, it's fixing to hit big time.
Right. Well, Tana, great. Give us a quick update. The horse is doing good?
They're doing good, feeling good. about got Goose's feet back to where they were last fall, so sometimes you go 3 steps forward and 2 steps back.
Yeah.
But that's life.
There you go. Well, Tana, as always, I appreciate you taking time out and calling us today on the Talkin' with Tana show, and we look forward to again visiting with you again next week.
All right, we'll do it.
All right. Thanks, Tana.
All right. Have a good week.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, everybody, that was Tana Papineau, your 3-time National Finals Rodeo qualifier. She joins us every Tuesday right here on SpurRadio.com. And for the Talkin' with Tana show, I want to thank her for calling in and visiting with us today. Also want to thank Equipride. Equipride's a proud sponsor of the Talkin' with Tana show. For more information on them, you can go to equipride.biz. Equipride is completes forages, improve appearance, performance, and immune function through better feed utilization. You can also check them out on Facebook, and make sure you check out all their videos that they have out on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and search Equipride. Well, again, also I want to thank everybody for joining us on the live webcast. For more information on that, just go, you email me and I can tell you all about it. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to add another way to get to the fans out there, and we're going to use our Ustream channel to be able to broadcast and do these live video feeds. It's also the same feed that I'll be using June 11th for the Women's Ranch Rodeos that's coming to Valentine on June 11th. We're going to be broadcasting it live, both performance. So just a new thing we've added. Hope you like it. Hope you enjoyed the Max sunglasses that I'm wearing. You can go to maxsunglasses.com for that information. The ones I have on are the Syncos, and they got a great variety and some new ones out there. And make sure you check out the go-overs as well that go over right over your eyeglasses. So lots of great great sunglasses out there. Check them out, as they are a sponsor of Tana Papineau. Well, again, thanks for joining us here on America's favorite online country radio station in the Talkin' with Tana show. That's going to wrap it up today for us as we broadcast live out of the purveyor of all things cowboy, Young's Western Wear, discountwesternwear.com.